This tutorial is titled Entering Inspection Data on the Pocket PC. In this tutorial, we'll be showing you how to record inspection data and add pictures to a report using a Pocket PC. Now we're starting with the main PalmTech Inspector screen on the Pocket PC, and we're going to choose New to start a new inspection report. You'll see here a list of the different forms that are available. You have all the same forms here that you have on your desktop computer. We're going to choose the master inspection template, and the PDA is now going to build the form for us and get the inspection set up. Now it's asking us to save the file. We're just going to call this file test, and as you can see, you can just write right on the screen. We'll say OK, and we're ready to continue. At the top of your screen is the category chooser. Click on the drop-down, and it shows you a list of the different categories in your inspection. We'll choose Lots and Grounds, and we're ready to start recording inspection data. On the left side, you'll see a list of drop-downs where you can record ratings for the individual items. In the middle, the place to enter descriptions, and on the right, a place to enter notes when you find problems. In the middle, you have your different inspection points, and we can see here we've got something that's cut off a little bit. If we tap on that, it'll actually show us what's behind there. So let's start off by inspecting the driveway. Look at the driveway and determine that it's acceptable, and see that it's made of asphalt. And we're ready to move on to walks. We're going to say that the walks are also acceptable, and that they're made of brick. As we walk on a little further, we also see some concrete, so we click again on the drop-down, and this time we're going to choose the plus sign to the left of concrete so that it adds concrete to brick, and you've got both descriptions in there. We'll move on to steps and stoops. We're going to say that the steps and stoops are also acceptable, but when we click on the drop-down list, we don't see what we're looking for there. So we're going to click on the box to the left of the drop-down, and now we're going to write in something. So first we're going to just click on the little hand. When this bar comes up, you'll know that your Pocket PC is ready to receive handwriting. And as you saw earlier, we can just write right on the screen, and it takes what you write and turns it into text. We also have the option to use an on-screen keyboard. And here, I can simply start typing in words, and you can see as you're typing, it'll help you finish words so that you can complete your writing more quickly. We're done with steps and stoops, and we'll move on to the next item. As we move on, it says, hey, that wasn't in your drop-down list. Do you want it to be there next time? If I say yes, then what I've typed in will now be on my drop-down for future inspections. We'll get rid of the keyboard so we get the full screen, and we'll move on to porch. Now, there is no porch there, so we're going to mark porch as not applicable. That's nice because when I mark something as not applicable, it then removes it from the report. By removing it from the report, it makes your report shorter and easier to read, and it also helps avoid questions like, why didn't you inspect my swale? Well, if there's no swale on the property and I mark it not applicable, that doesn't even appear in the report. I can do the same thing with any section of the report. If there's no basement on that property, I can mark basement as not applicable, and that whole section is then removed from the report. As I move on, I can see as I'm completing my different sections, I get a nice little visual cue here. The X to the left of basement lets me know that that section has been complete. We'll go back to Lots and Grounds and continue on with patio. We're going to say that the patio is marginal. We're going to say that it's made of concrete, but since it's marginal, we want to talk about what the problem is. To do that, we'll click on Note. And here I'm going to say that the concrete is pitted and chipped. And you see here we're just picking from a list of common notes. You have the ability to control all of what's in these lists. And I'm going to say that it's settling away from the foundation as well, or in this case, settling toward the foundation. I say OK, my note has been entered, and I'm ready to move on. We're going to say that the deck is also marginal, that it's made of treated wood, And let's choose treated wood. Here we go. And again, since it's marginal, we want to talk about what the problem is, so I'll click on Note. And I'm going to say that there's some moisture damage, and that there's an uneven riser on the steps. I say, okay, my note has been entered, but for deck, I'm also going to add a picture into the report. Adding a picture to a report is very easy. At the end of the inspection, if you take the card out of your camera, there's a place on the PDA where you can actually plug the card right in, and then when I want to add a picture in, I will tap and hold right on the line and tell it I want to add picture. PDA lists all of the different pictures on your machine, and here we can click on it. It'll give us a preview of the picture below. We'll find the one that we're looking for. That's the one I want, so I'll say OK. And I want to make sure they see exactly what it is I want them to see, so I'm going to zoom in on the problem area. To do that, I simply drag right across the screen, and you can see it's drawn a zoom box. I'm still not sure they're going to see exactly what I want them to see, so I'm going to add a couple of arrows in as well. As you can see, you can use different colors. We see OK, and the picture's now been added to the report. You simply go through the report this way, category by category and line by line, and fill out the information as you see it. When you're finished, we've got some tools to help you review the report. We've got a completeness check that when we choose that, it'll show us everything that we haven't completed on the report. If I double-click, it'll take me right to that section of the report. I also have edit checks, which will go through and perform a series of logic checks on the report. That will tell me if I've done things like marked something as marginal or defective, but didn't enter any notes about it, or if I marked something as not present but did enter information on it. This is just a fast and easy way to review your report without going to a print preview and trying to see it that way. The spell checker will spell check your report. And finally, there's summary items. Summary items allow me to review everything that I've marked to go to the summary. And I'll choose to look at everything that's marked as marginal. What happens is it shows me all of the comments that I entered about that item, which allows me to review all of the problem areas in the report. If I want to go to that particular item, I click Go To, and it takes me there so I can check and make sure I've got it the way I want. After I've reviewed the report, I can print on site if I want to do that by going to File and then Print. And it'll print wirelessly to your printer by just typing in the printer's IP address in this box here. You do it once, and we hit Start Printing, and it'll actually print the report. This concludes the tutorial on entering inspection data on the Pocket PC.